This is VFL Weekly Wrap for round 8. There was 2 games on Friday. Now Geelong belted up on Brisbane, winning by 66 points at Ipswich, 15-25, 115 to 7-7-49. Geelong had 427 possessions. Mate, they had a whopping 216 handballs. They had 33 more inside 50s. They had 12 goal kickers. And their best players was Jack Bowes, 40 possessions, 7 clearances, 2 goals. That man again, George Stevens, 35 possessions, 8 clearances and a goal. Now Geelong's, their wins this year, 5 of their 6 wins this year have been by over 7 goals. They are absolutely belting teams at the moment. Now, game at Tramway Oval saw Sydney beat Collingwood easily by 52 points, 19-12, 126 to 10-14, 74. For Sydney, Joel Hamling took 9 marks and kicked 5 goals. For Collingwood, Sam Swadling, 40 possessions, 9 marks and a goal. Games on Saturday. Frankston beat Gold Coast by 39 points up in Carrara, 19-8, 122 to 12-11, 83. Now for Frankston, Trent Minor in good form, 39 possessions, 13 marks and 3 goals. Corey Ellison, he kicked 5 goals. Frankston have now won their last 3. Gold Coast just about shot for the year already. Now, a game at North Hobart Oval saw Southport beat the home team, Tasmania. Smashed them. 53-point winners. 20 goals, 10, 130 to 11-11, 77. Hitouts dominated by the Sharks, 76 to 28. And that man, Braden Crossley, he got 62 hitouts. Jacob Dawson, 41 possessions, 12 clearances and a goal. Zach Foote, 28 possessions, 10 tackles, 3 goals. 7 Sharks players kicked multiple goals. It was a badly needed win by Southport. Tasmania were in very good form, and that's evened up the competition now. Game at Princes Park saw Carlton knock off Footscray by 20 points, 16-21, 117 to 15-7, 97. For Carlton, Wade Dirksen took 15 marks. Carlton lost their first 2 games of the year. They've now won their last 5. They are absolutely flying. Footscray, well, they're in trouble. They won their first 3, then they've lost their last 3. The premiership winners of last year, so they've got a lot of injuries. Now, Port Melbourne, well, they got North Melbourne again. They beat them by 13 points at Northport Oval. 15-13, 103 to 13-12, 90. North Melbourne were 29 points up at half-time and capitulated. For the Borough, Ben Hobbs, 33 possessions, 7 tackles, 8 clearances and a goal. Dom Bedendo's in good form now. He kicked another 5 goals. Port Melbourne have won their last 3 games. North Melbourne have lost 3 games by 19 points or under. Mate, despite their workmanlike players in their team, Port Melbourne, mate, they're playing above their expectations. They've been impressive this year. There's only 1 game on Sunday, and it was a close one at the Beach Oval. Another heartbreaking loss for Sandringham. GWS got them by 3 points. First time they've visited that ground. 13-9, 87 to 12-12, 84. The lead changed 7 times. Now, Darcy Churgwin, 28 possessions, 10 tackles, 7 clearances and a goal. Now, Sandringham, they've lost 5 in a row. 6 of their first 8 games have been at home, so they're going to come home with a lot of away games. 5 of their losses have been by 26 points or under, so they've been the good losers. They just cannot win. GWS, They're 2 from 2 in Melbourne. That's a very important win for GWS. If they want to play finals again, they got to win games in Melbourne. I'll get to the 2 games I went to on Saturday. But first, if you're watching this channel, subscribe to Kirk Gench 8878. Press that like button, subscribe. Now I went to the 2 games on Saturday. The first one at Box Hill City Oval. This is the first game on that ground. Box Hill beat Richmond in a thriller. 1 point winners, 12-11-83 to 12-10-82. 2 goals each in the first quarter. Richmond 3 goals to 1 in the second quarter, so it was a very low scoring first half, but it went into life in the second half. Box Hill 5 goals to 3 in the third quarter. The last quarter, 4 goals 3 each. A pulsating last quarter. The major goal kickers for Box Hill, Jack Dalton and Cody Anderson kicked 3 each. For Richmond, 5 players kicked 2 goals. Mohamed Yassin, Sam Toner, Kai Stewart, Joel Garner and Ryan Cantwell. The possessions for Box Hill, Trent Bianco, 30 possessions, 7 clearances and a goal. Jamie Henry, 45 hitouts. For Richmond, Leo Connolly, 27 possessions, 7 marks. Murtazel Noor, 19 possessions, 10 marks. He was very good in the back line. Nicholas Collier, 11 tackles. Box Hill had 64 more possessions, 40 more hitouts, 21 more clearances. Now, Richmond were 18 points up, 19 minutes in the last quarter. It looked like it was game over, but Box Hill kicked two goals in a row. Then Richmond kicked the goal at the 26-minute mark to be 12 points up. They should have lost this game, Richmond. They got in that winning position. At worst, they could have drawn the game. Somehow in the last 2.5, 3 minutes of the game, Box Hill kicked 2 goals, 1. The winning goal came from Jack Dalton, who won a free kick and kicked it from 50 metres out. I don't think there would have been more than 5 seconds left when the all clear was given. Unbelievable. Box Hill lead head-to-head 8-6 against Richmond. A heartbreaking loss by Richmond, but Box Hill probably had more possessions, as I said, but they just couldn't score. Richmond were terrific, despite all the injuries. Now, that was the first game at Box Hill City Oval. I like this ground, but it's under construction. It's like that members side of the ground is under construction, so that was shut. The grass, when I went on that ground, it looked like you can just still see the lines there, so it looked like they only just put it together. Now that, I don't want to sound nasty, but that ground resembled Legoland. Half the ground under construction. The grass was basically yellow as well. I don't know how the VFL cleared this ground, to be honest. I don't think they should have played there. It's going to be a great ground, but don't get me wrong, but that, I don't think they should have played there. And another thing, the parking there, horrible. Parked a million miles away from that ground. But it was a good game. Richmond stiff. And then 20 minutes away, 20 k's away, I went to Moorabbin and saw St Kilda belt up on Casey by 48 points, 15-15, 105 to 8-9, 57 for St Kilda. Mason Wood kicked 3, 2 each to Billy Richardson, Ned McGuinness and Jaden Davey. Now, the 8 goals Casey kicked, 4 players kicked 2 each. Tom Matthews, Luca Kentfield, Jack Henderson and Jesse Craven. It was pretty much over at quarter time. St Kilda 7 goals 4 to 3 behinds. Casey 5 goals to 3 in the second quarter. St Kilda wasted the third quarter, 3 goals 6 to 1 goal. Last quarter was even, 2 goals 4 each. The sting was out of the game by then. The possessions, Mason Wood surprisingly dropped from the AFL team. He looked like a class above everyone else. 26 possessions, 9 marks, 3 goals. He just made it look so easy. Ethan Phillips is a very good intercept marker, I'll tell you. He just dominated. 26 possessions, 16 marks. Alex Dodson in the ruck, 43 hitouts. Bill McGee Gallenberti, the skipper, 20 possessions, 13 marks and a goal. For Casey, not much winners here. Tom McDonald in defence, 33 possessions, 8 marks. Riley Bonner had 29 touches. St Kilda had 51 ball possessions, 27 more inside 50s, 30 more hitouts, 20 more clearances, 35 more marks. Now that wind was a pretty strong breeze. It was blowing towards the Nepean Highway end. I reckon this was worth 4 goals. St Kilda used it in the first quarter, 7 goals to nothing. Even though Casey kicked 5 in the second quarter, St Kilda managed 3 into it. In the third quarter, St Kilda just dominated. They just couldn't kick goals. In the last quarter, well, the game was gone, so it didn't matter. Mate, they absolutely battered up on Casey. Casey were flogged last week by 20 goals. They look like they got no run at all. They're simply not good enough. St Kilda, they've had some unlucky losses. They've won 2 in a row now. And this St Kilda team look pretty good now. They should have won by more. They absolutely bossed Casey there. The only other time they met was in the year 2000 at Waverley Park. Casey have lost their last 3 games. Now they've lost 4 games by over 6 goals, so they've been belted. They've actually got the worst percentage in the league. St Kilda, they're still alive. I must say that ground at Moorabbin, very impressive ground. Definitely going to go there again this year. That's enough of that. Now the ladder. Geelong on top. They're 6-1. Now you've got 5 teams on 5 wins. Carlton, Sydney, Box Hill, GWS, all 5-2. Williamstown are 5-1. That's a logjam here. Southport, Port Melbourne, Frankston, all 4-3. Werribee 3-3 in the draw. Footscray 3-3. Coburg, North Melbourne 3-4. Essendon 3-4 as well. St Kilda now 3-5. They're still in it. Mate, the rest of the teams, forget about it. They're rubbish. They're not making it. Sandringham 2-6. Richmond, Collingwood, Casey 2-5. Look at the bottom. The Suns and Brisbane 1-5. Horrible. Now, the fixture for round 9. There are 10 games. One on Friday night. Williamstown against Box Hill at Point Gellibrand at 7 p.m. I'll try to get to this game. This is going to be an absolute belter. Now, there's 6 games on Saturday. Now, Richmond, because they haven't got a home ground, they're playing Essendon Windy Hill at 10 a.m. in the morning. That game was moved from Northport Oval to Windy Hill. Now, Southport are playing Port Melbourne. That should be an interesting game. The game I'm going to at Chirnside Park, Werribee Collingwood, should be a belter. That's do or die for Werribee. Well, Collingwood's got no choice but to win. Got a lot of injuries though. This game was 12 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now, so they can celebrate Pendlebury's record-breaking game in the AFL. So that's why they've done it. Geelong against City should be interesting. I'll probably go to this game in the second half. North Melbourne against Gold Coast at Arden Street. That's at 1:30, so I'm probably going to watch the second half there. Saturday night, 7 p.m, Frankston Sandringham should be interesting. Now, there's 3 games on Sunday. Casey play Footscray, 2 teams out of form. GWS play Brisbane, and the game I'm going to at Coburg City Oval, Coburg against Carlton should be an absolute belter of a game. That is Vicky Cleary Day, so get down to that one. It's always a great cause. Fighting the domestic violence in women there. Should be an excellent crowd there. Hopefully the weather's good. Big game. 2 teams have the bye. St Kilda and Tasmania. I'll tell you, that was a very interesting round of football. Some blowouts. Some unusual results. The season's alive and well. See you next time.